All right, let's talk about a $1 million decision. No, seriously. We're going to use a lottery win to break down a really important financial choice. Do you take a big pile of cash right now or get smaller payments over a long, long time? And trust me, this isn't just some fun what-if game. Understanding this is key to figuring out things you'll actually deal with, like student loans or even, way down the road, your retirement.
So, picture this, the confetti has settled, the cameras are gone, and you've got a choice to make. Do you take a big chunk of cash right now or a steady stream of payments coming in for decades? I know, it sounds kind of simple, right? But believe me, one of these options is, mathematically speaking, a way better deal. Let's dig in and find out which one it is.
Okay, so here are the official choices on the table. Option 1, a lump sum. We're talking $650,000 right now in your bank account. Or you can get $50,000 a year, every year for 25 years. Now, if you do the quick math, that second option adds up to $1.25 million. That sounds way better, right? More money. But is it actually a better deal? To figure that out, we have to get our heads around the financial concept behind these payment streams. It's called an annuity.
Annuities, TVM on repeat. Okay, so if you've sat through any basic finance or accounting class, you've definitely heard of the time value of money, right? TVM? Well, guess what? That's pretty much all an annuity is. It's just that same core idea, but applied over and over again to a whole series of payments. It's TVM on repeat.
And this right here, this is the absolute foundation for everything we're about to do. The idea that $1 today is worth more than $1 tomorrow. Why? It's simple, really. You can take that dollar today and invest it. It can start making you more money right now. That dollar you're promised 20 years from now? Well, it's just been sitting there, losing out on 2 decades of potential growth. And that is the one single idea that lets us actually compare a big pile of cash today to payments that are stretched out over 25 years.
So there you have it. An annuity is just the fancy, technical name for any predictable stream of cash. It could be your mortgage payment, a car loan, or, in our case, those lottery winnings. The really cool part, the key to all this, is that we can actually calculate its present value. And what that does is it tells us exactly, down to the penny, what that entire 25-year stream of $50,000 payments is worth in today's money, as if you got it all in one big chunk right now.
Ordinary versus due. When do you get paid? Okay, but there's a tiny little wrinkle here, a small catch. See, our lottery problem actually gives us 2 slightly different kinds of annuities to think about. And the whole difference between them boils down to one super simple question. When, exactly, does the money hit your account?
And this breaks it down perfectly with examples you're probably already familiar with. So you've got an ordinary annuity. This is where the payment comes at the end of the period. The classic example is a mortgage. You pay interest for the month you just used. Then you've got an annuity due. This is where the payment comes at the beginning of the period. Think about your rent payment. You pay on the first of the month for the month you're about to live in. And that tiny little timing difference, it makes a huge impact. Getting your money sooner with an annuity due means every single one of those payments has more time to earn interest, so it's going to be worth more.
Running the numbers. Let's solve the puzzle. All right, enough theory. We've got the concepts down. We know what an annuity is. We know the difference between ordinary and due. Now it's time to roll up our sleeves, crunch some numbers, and finally solve this puzzle. Let's figure out which lottery option is the real winner.
So, which one is actually worth more today? That's the mission. And to find out, we have to calculate the present value of both of those annuity options. Remember, this is going to take that whole 25-year stream of payments and boil it down to a single number, what it's worth right now. So first up, let's tackle the ordinary annuity. Okay, here's the formula we're going to use. Now, don't let it scare you. It's actually pretty straightforward. That PV is just the present value. That's the number we're trying to find. P is our payment, which is $50,000. The rate is our discount rate. We'll use 7%. And N is just the number of payments, so 25 years. Simple as that. So now, we just have to plug in the numbers. We've got our $50,000 payment, our 7% rate, and our 25 years. I know the formula looks a little messy, but all it's really doing is taking each of those 25 payments and figuring out what it's worth today given that 7% rate. So once we run this whole thing through a calculator, what do we get? Boom, $582,679.16. So what this means is that getting 50 grand at the end of every year for 25 years is worth about $582K today. Now right away you can see that's a lot less than the $650,000 lump sum. But wait, we're not done yet. We still have one more option to check. All right, now for the annuity due. This is the one where we get paid at the start of the year. And the awesome thing here is that the formula is way simpler. We don't have to start from scratch. We can just take the number we already found and multiply it by 1 plus our interest rate. It's a neat little shortcut that basically just gives every single payment one extra year to grow.
So, we just take that $582,000 number we just calculated and we multiply it by 1.07. That's it. That one simple step accounts for the fact that we're getting all 25 of those payments a little bit earlier, giving each one an extra year to earn interest.
And there's our number, $623,466.70. So just like we thought, the annuity due is worth more than the ordinary one, about $40,000 more, which is pretty significant. But here's the final question. Is it enough to beat that big lump sum?
The final verdict. And the winner is? Okay, the calculations are done. We've figured out the true value of all three of our options, all in today's dollars. It is time to line them all up side by side and officially declare a winner based purely on the math.
And this chart just makes it crystal clear, doesn't it? The lump sum is our tallest bar, sitting pretty at $650 grand. The annuity due comes in a solid second place at just over $623,000. And bringing up the rear is the ordinary annuity at about $582,000. You know, the math just doesn't lie.
So if your only goal here is to pick the option with the highest mathematical value today, then the lump sum is the obvious winner. It beats the next best option by almost $27,000. So case closed, right? We just take the money and run? Well, maybe not. The math shows which option has the highest value, but is it always the best financial choice for you? And honestly, this might be the most important takeaway of all. See, big financial decisions are never just about the math on a spreadsheet. They're about your life, your habits, your goals. That lump sum is the mathematical winner, for sure. But that's only true if you have the discipline to invest it wisely and not, blow it all. For a lot of people, the steady forced savings of an annuity, even though it's worth less on paper today, might actually lead to a much better outcome in the long run. The numbers tell you what an option is worth, but only you can decide which path is actually going to make you richer.